Hey guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers franchise mode, and in this one, we are going to finish the regular season simulation, and we have some more line changes, because when do we not? As we've been pretty much changing lines all season. And we're going to try out Draisaitl, McDavid, and Puljujarvi on the first line, because Draisaitl, this season at least, isn't taking as many shots as he has in seasons past. He had 162 last season, 211 in year number one, and that's when he was most successful with those 69 points in year, that was year number two. That was year number two. Never mind. But still, it still applies. He was the most successful when he took a lot of shots. So I'm going to see if reuniting Draisaitl with McDavid helps. And then Jesse Puljujarvi, he's kind of a mix. He has 150 shots at the moment, and of course McDavid has way over 200. I think it's 225. Yeah, 225 for McDavid. So that would mean Marner, Nyquist, and Nuge are a line, and then the bottom six is untouched. Now I do have another set of lines that we can go to if necessary, but I'm really hoping, I'm crossing my fingers that this is going to be the line. These are the line combinations that get it done. Again, we've basically been shuffling lines all season. There's got to be some combination that works with this team. It has to be. There's way too much skill on this team now for no combinations to work. It's insane. So we're going to leave the defense alone. Power play, I'm just going to switch Nurse and Barry. We're going to get Barry back on the first unit power play with Clefbaum, McDavid, all of them, because the power play has kind of dried up a little bit as of recent. We're going to see if this does something for the power play. I'll do the same thing here. And that is about it, honestly. We're not going to be making any trades because the only player who I found myself going back after the last recording was Vincent Trocheck, and he has quite a bit of value on him. And not only that, but he's got quite the salary too, $6 million for the next 6 years on his extension. And for the amount of value that Florida wants, I don't think we have this much value that I'm willing to give up. Any player in our system that has that much value, I do not want to give up. I'm not giving up Sarenheimo, I'm not giving up Clefbaum, not Nuge, not Nurse, and not, not Barron either. So all those guys we have to keep, and everybody else, I'm not willing to mortgage that much of the future for Vincent Trocheck, who would likely be our third-line center, and then he would probably drop, and I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, it does make sense from a team standpoint, but again, I don't want to give up that much value to get Vincent Trocheck and have him play third line. I would rather just try Nuge at third line, and that's our second-line combination option, but I would rather not do that right now, because I don't want Nuge to drop. That's a last resort thing. So we're going to hope that these lines work, because if they don't, then this would be the third time in 4 years in this GM mode that the Edmonton Oilers would be missing out on the playoffs, which obviously Oil Country is tired of losing, and believe me, I am too, and we're not starting out on the right foot here. 2 losses in a row post-trade deadline, then you have a 5-2 win against Nashville. Okay, we're starting to win now. And watch, as soon as I say that, now we're going to go on a 4-game losing streak. So I'll see you guys at the end of the month, or really whenever I see a fit time to stop, if we go on a sudden losing streak, or if we all of a sudden start winning. Okay, we are at the end of March. We're 42, 34, and 2. We went 10-5 in that stretch. Thank goodness, because if we had gone 500 in that stretch, I would not be happy right now, but we are looking much better than we did before. So let's see if we're still in the playoff spot. That's the real question. And we are. Ooh, we are. We're first in the Pacific Division now. So I'm glad that we didn't make any trades. I listened to my gut, and it just worked out for us. I guess the EA randomness just worked in our favor. I don't know, maybe something about the lines is what did it. Maybe having McDavid and Draisaitl is something we need. And I thought I'd mention that Nuge actually does have a pretty good face-off percentage, at least last we checked. Not now. But when we put him there at the second line center, he had a 52%. Nuge now has 60 points. That's, I believe, 15 points in that recent simulation. So he absolutely turned it on with Mitch Marner and Gustav Nyquist. Now, Nyquist, the interesting thing is that Nyquist only had 29 points. He now has 41. He went on a much better stretch in that month than he's had basically all year. So Nyquist finally turned it on as well. Marner looks like he picked it up as well, 50 points. Puljujärvi, he is, I believe, that's a career high for him, 66 points in 78 games. McDavid, 72 points in 78 games. Can't say I'm surprised. He's already at 41 goals. Draisaitl, 57 points. So, obviously, we had our struggles earlier on in the year, but I still think that this team now is capable of getting it done, closing out the season. And we just have to be confident in ourselves going into the playoffs. That's really the key here, and to stay consistent. That's been the huge issue for this team, and it looks like we may have finally ironed it out, but I don't want to jinx that, so I'm not going to say we definitely have. Klefbom has 29 points. Tyson Barrie has 55 points. This guy has been an amazing acquisition so far. Couldn't be happier about him. Nurse, 21. Merkley with 42 points. So anyone who wasn't particularly happy about the Evan Bouchard trade, I present to you Ryan Merkley. He has more points in his first NHL season than Evan Bouchard did. Bowen Byram at 5 points, but he was very physical, 104 hits this season. His turnover ratio was a bit better, 23 to 65. And he was, obviously, he grew into his own. He, last year, was a minus 28. And now this year, he's a plus 2. So that shows that Byram is now maturing. Or maybe it's just that he's playing with Adam Larson instead of Bouchard. But, whatever works for him. So now that we know that we are in a relatively good spot, we still haven't clinched the playoffs, but if we get, I think, 1 or 2 wins, we should be set. So as long as we beat LA and San Jose, I would say we're in the playoffs. We have an all-divisional final week for the Edmonton Oilers here, so let's see if we can win at least 2 of these games. That'd be great. If we can, then I would say we're in the playoffs. Yeah, we're definitely in the playoffs at this point. 3 solid victories against LA, San Jose, and then LA again. This team is finally being consistent, and we clinched. There you go. Very nice. Very nicely done. All right. We can all breathe now. And not only that, we can celebrate being first in the Pacific Division. So we can go into this last game against Anaheim worry-free, and then we'll check out the team stats, the player stats, and then we'll see who we have in the first round. And, of course, we end off the year on a good note, winning against Anaheim 5-3. So in the last, that means post-trade deadline, we went 14-5. Pretty good if you ask me. This team last year would not have been able to do that. Absolutely not. Not with the simulation we were getting. But this year, I'm glad that we kept this roster together. Nyquist seemed to turn it on. Marner, Draisaitl, Nuge, all those guys turned it on towards the end of the season when it counted. And obviously that's what matters for these Edmonton Oilers, just to stay consistent from here on out. So McDavid, 78 points, 42 goals. Puljujärvi with 72 points, by far a career high. And he is a for sure first liner now at this point. Not much of a sniper, like the game says he is, but he's capable of getting assists. We know that much, 53 assists. Draisaitl with 64, Nuge with 64, Barrie with 55, Marner with 54. He was on the second line this year, wasn't with McDavid, so that's, I would guess, why he didn't get as many assists this year. But he still had a reasonable year alongside of Draisaitl and Gus. And Nyquist had 43 points. Remember, that was very, very slow to start out the year. He had, I think, 29 points at the deadline? Now he has 43. Merkley with 43. Dzingel, 35. Clefbaum 33, Yamamoto 32, Shore 25, Cizikas 23, Nurse 21, Kara 17, Stastny 17 as well. Larson with 14, Sorensen did not play a single game for us, so those are all San Jose stats. Byram with 7, Gabranson, Schlemko did not play. So it looks like we have quite a few minuses on the team, but I'm not as concerned with that this season because obviously we made the playoffs and the majority of our stars, it looks like our star players, were all pluses, so that's what really counts for this team because they're obviously the ones doing the majority of the scoring. Shots, McDavid with 290, Nyquist with 205. He is a good fit for this team. We just had to find a line that he would work well with, and he's finally turned it on. Hopefully he can keep that going into the playoffs. Clefbaum with 193, Puljujarvi 189, 184, Draisaitl. Shooting percentage, Dzingel with the highest with a 14.8, McDavid 14.5. Nuge with an 11.8, so we have a lot more guys with over a 10 shooting percentage right now. Remember last year when we only had one player above a 10 shooting percentage? That was not good. Game-winning goals, McDavid and Puljujarvi with 5. Power play goals, McDavid with 13. Power play points, this is much better. McDavid 23, Puljujarvi 23, Nuge 21, 20 for Draisaitl, 13 for Nyquist, Marner, and Merkley. 9 for Barry, 8 for Clefbaum, and then 4 for Cizikas, which I'm guessing is from the Islanders, because I don't remember Cizikas ever being on our power play. Shorties, we had 2 from Clefbaum and Draisaitl. Faceoffs, McDavid, Draisaitl were above a 50, well above 50, 54 for both of them. And then Stastny had a 49.2, Cizikas 48.5, Shore 48.2. Hits, Draisaitl with 152, McDavid 137, Dzingel, Puljujarvi, Clefbaum, Nurse, Kara, Byram all over 100. Cizikas was close with 97. Larson with 92, Shore 69, Marner 52, Barry 51, Nyquist 42, Yamamoto, Nuge, Stastny, all these guys that don't hit. And leading forwards for shot blocks is Ryan Dzingel with 41. That is insane. Man's great defensively. Takeaways to giveaways, so Jesse Puljujarvi, 144 to 58. Great idea, first of all, putting him on the penalty kill. I think he really helped it out with that insane takeaway to giveaway ratio, and then, of course, the amount of hits that he has, too. Jesse has turned into a really good player for us, and I wouldn't imagine he'll be going anywhere anytime soon. Leon Draisaitl, 61 to 50, 56 to 55 for Nyquist, 56 to 47 for Marner, 50 to 52 for Cizikas, 43 to 30 for Yamamoto, 41 to 34 for Dzingel, 39 to 48 for Stastny, 37 to 49 for Nuge. Not great for Stastny either. Shore, 34 to 27. Barry, 33 to 54. Good for a defenseman, especially an offensive defenseman like him who's getting 55 plus points seasons. Incredible season that Barry had. 33 to 59 for Nurse, could have been a little bit better. 33 to 91 for Clefbaum, could have been a lot better. Larson, 32 to 65. For a defensive defenseman, that's actually pretty good. Now, McDavid, this is the surprising part. McDavid, 32 to 47. You usually see McDavid with at least more takeaways than giveaways. In the previous simulation, he's had way more takeaways than giveaways. Now, this is the first year that he's had more giveaways than takeaways. So that's very interesting. Kara, 30 and 30. 24 to 23 for Sorensen. 24 to 58 for Merkley. 23 to 66 for Byram. Fights, Nuge and Clefbaum with the fights. Let's see goaltenders. So Subban had a 921 save percentage. He was solid. After, I would say, November or December, Subban really started to turn it on. And he showed that he's capable of playing as a starter. Skinner, not so much. He had 2 shutouts, but 898 save percentage. Not great. We're definitely going to be rolling with Subban in the playoffs. Let's check out the team stats. We had a 2.99 goals for per game. That is the best in our division, and it's a good thing our scoring picked up toward the end of the season. Goals against per game, we were the best in our division. So we were the best team for offense and defense. Were we the best power play? Yes, we were. 21.9. Glad we made those changes to the power play as well, and penalty kill is the one area we could still use some work. But other than that, when compared to the other teams in our division, we've been just fine. At this point, all there's left to do is, I believe, see who we have in the playoffs, and it looks like it's not even determined yet because the Central Division has not finished, and neither has really any other team. I think we're the only team with 82 games played so far. So we'll see where everybody else ends up in the standings and who we have in round number 1. And we will be facing the Chicago Blackhawks in round number 1. So let's take a look at the Blackhawks lineup and see what they're all about. And I would imagine, is Kaner and Taves still there? Yeah, they're still there. All right, so Dominic Cahoon, Dylan Strome, and Patrick Kane make up the first line. Second line, Brandon Perlini, Alex DeBrincat, and Jonathan Taves, so they have Taves on the wing. Third line, former Edmonton Oiler Drake Caggiula, Artem Anisimov, and Victor Ejdsell. Brandon Tanev, John Hayden, and Dominic Kubalik make up the fourth line. Defensively, Henry Jokiharju and Adam Boquist make up the first pair. Second pair, Cuckoo and Martinez. Third pair, the 77 overall Duncan Keith, brutal, and then Gustav Forsling. In goal, you have Dell and Delia. Scratched are Sakura, Cousins, and Fortin. So I'll leave you guys off with the playoff matchups. In the East, we have the Maple Leafs versus the Flyers, the Canadiens versus the Lightning, the Capitals versus the Blue Jackets, and the Hurricanes versus the Rangers. In the West, we have your Edmonton Oilers versus the Chicago Blackhawks, the Coyotes versus the Ducks, the Predators versus the Blues, and the Wild versus the Stars. So I'll leave you guys off there. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one when we face the Chicago Blackhawks.